All right, and here we are live with the 4-6 profile on the cross of the lost. 4-6. 4-6 are the one that always have potential of being very, very powerful, influential forces of small groups. They can be very, 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 very powerful. They're the ones that when you sit down with you at the bar and they will tell you a story about what happened during the day, you're right there with them. And they have the capacity of being able to mutate, motivate you to respond to the influence. Again, it's always going to be relative to inclusion, exclusion. One of the things that's so interesting about the 4-6 in this configuration is that the tighter the configuration, the more powerful they are. It's the four that where two or three friends, you have a basic pentastructure, they're enormously powerful. Their story has incredible influence over that group. There's a tendency from the time of obscuration to recognize that the whole truth and nothing but the truth is only a rule. It can be broken. Who says that it's a law that you have to tell them everything? In the United States, they have laws that protect information for 20, 25, 30 years. They actually put it right out there in their face. They say, well, you're not going to let you ready in so-called secret information. We're not going to let you ready of this 20-year-old documents for another 5 years because you don't think you can actually handle that. It's there in the world. It's always there. Earth is flat. So one of the things about the 4-6 on this cross is that it can be very manipulated, but manipulative through the story. You don't go and say, look, there's this car around the corner and I want to go over and trash it. It doesn't work. It's not the way you do it. You come in there and say, I just pulled up, I had a horrible thing happen to me. I'm pulling into this parking space and this guy out of nowhere backs into this space just as I'm going in and I won't get out. And not only that, he actually got out of his car, threatened me and started to yell at me. The guy was out of his mind. Now, that may not be true at all. What does it have to be true? What you want is you want the group to go to the protection and establish a new law. Don't fuck with me. And then establish that new law, all of you together, so you share the responsibility, you trace the car. Now, the fact that maybe, in fact, he was down the street when he saw this guy backing up into the spot and saw that was the only spot and just annoyed him that this guy pulled in ahead. Not only that, but as he drives by where this guy got in, he gives the guy the finger. The guy doesn't know what he's giving him the finger for. The guy starts shouting at him, and then he drives on and parks, goes to his friends and says, hey, this guy, what he did. You have no idea how often in the world, every day, somebody has to be punished based on these rules. The power of the story. There is no detail. You don't need to have the truth. There are no facts. You can weave that story any way that you want. You can see it every day in criminal trials. It goes on all the time. So it's something to be aware of the power of the 4-6 on the cross of the laws. Remember, the fourth line of the 50 is corruption. They will corrupt you. They will bring you into another law. Now that they can be positive, it can also be very negative. But understand the principle of this deep impact on the closed cell and how powerful both storyteller and fact deliverers are. They have that cell. The moment that they have that cell is the moment of the potential what they want to deliver us. Metamorphic information can take hold and ultimately be manifested. The juxtaposition cross of stimulation, the 4-1 stimulation. Here, when you're looking at the 56 is the stimulation now. Just stimulate people. If they're going to be burdened by the law, then just stimulate them. And out of the things to recognize is that the juxtaposition cross of stimulation is not the cross of the laws. There's no 3 and no 50. It's gone. It had been replaced by the 27 and the 28. And we have the 28 gate, which is the real gate of risk taking and the gate of purpose. And we have the 27 gate, and of course, the 27 gate is the gate of nourishment. And it's the other sides of the 50 that's gone away. The channel of the tribal defense circuit and the channel of custodianship. So the theme of the 4-1 is whatever, stimulate them. And these are people that are natural storytellers, but there's no purpose in the story. It's just the value of storytelling. I want you to understand it's a very, very important value. One of the most important things about this contribution of the human experimental way is that it offers the opportunity for all to benefit from everyone else's experience. It's why we live in a world of biographies and autobiographies, why we have a basic interest and a basic curiosity about people's lives. It's why you read obituaries. There's a basic interest in us that the process of the human life and what goes on. And we have a good story. They have television cable networks now that do not have, but now that do nothing but bias, and people watch it all day long. The story about this person and that person and the other thing. Human beings love that. Well, it's a great contribution to the collective whole. In other words, filling the mind with stories is terrific. What does it is it reaffirms that we have a past. It reaffirms that we've come along from something and we're going towards something. And it provides us with all the lessons that we need to learn along the way. So the 401 stimulation is great. However, it's your child there has tendency to tell stories that they don't have to be true. It's just storytelling. And children have the 56, and children that need stimulation. This is the gate of the wanderer. Movement, stimulation. It's an essential ingredient of these are children that are going to need a lot of stimulation. And these are children that are going to be natural storytellers, very fixed. Don't ask these children for the facts. Just ask for the story. Just take the story. That's all you're going to get. And that's all you're going to take in from them. Right.